Hello everybody and welcome back to LRN. Today we have episode 1 of the My Team series as we take on the Bahrain Grand Prix, the first ever race and my first ever drive of the F1 cars on the F1 22 game. If you are new around here, please do make sure to subscribe to the channel, it really helps us grow, and like the video if you do like the content. As you can see, we've gone ahead and set our first lap there. It's a 1:33 and it's good to see us ahead of Ricardo, but not particularly quick, so we definitely need to set a faster time. We definitely lost some time around a couple of corners on that first attempt. These are my first laps in the F1 2022 car, so I am struggling a bit to get to grips with the car as we head round the Bahrain circuit. I've also had to up the downforce because I was losing so much time, I felt, through the tighter complex in Sector 2 of the Bahrain Grand Prix. But I think that has cost us quite a lot of time down the straights. But you can see I've gained a low time here, over half a second through the first sector and the beginning of the second sector, mainly on that tight right-hander as you get into the end of, well, so the beginning of Sector 2. We're going to come around here. We've gained another couple of tenths on that corner, looking to set a quicker time, always keeping an eye on what our teammates doing, because we obviously want to look at that to see what the car is capable of, though I imagine they're running a bit of a lower downforce setup than I am, given they're probably more comfortable with the car off the bat being the AI. You see here we've gained 8 tenths of a second already, slowly getting to grips with the car. A couple more tenths there, 3 tenths, 4 tenths on that final corner. Well, not final official corner, but final corner really of the Bahrain circuit, and that takes us up to 18th with a 1:31.7. So a big improvement on our previous lap. But you can see that for sure in our sister car has set a much quicker time than the one that we've just gone for. So we're going to go for a third and final attempt. Obviously we've set the game up to be really difficult in terms of developing the car and really allowing the AI to fight us and stay ahead in the championship. So it is going to be a real battle to get this car fighting in the midfield and towards the front. But you can see that as we come to the end of this lap, we're way down on the lap we set on our second attempt. Definitely some mistakes made there as we get used to the braking zones and the feel of the car compared to F1 21. It's really not responding like I was used to on F1 21, and it's taken me a bit of time to get used to it. So it's really costing us here in round 1 of the championship, but for sure hopefully step up his game in representing the team in qualifying. And as you see, as we've lost over a second to our previous lap, I bail off here, no point finishing the lap, save the car, save the parts, head in and look into the next race, hoping that we can at least get off the back of the grid. But unfortunately that won't be the case as we come in with a 1:31.7 as our best, and we're nearly a second down on Latifi ahead of us. So not a good performance or a good start as we get used to these cars into this season. But let's go on ahead then and get straight into the race.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best, of course, at turn 1, and then another soon after into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into that tight left-hander of turn 10. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Hamilton, George Russell and Bottas. Ocon, Sainz, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Fernando Alonso and Kevin Magnussen. Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, Pierre Gasly and Norris. Joe, Stroll, Alex Albon and Daniel Ricciardo. Richard Verschoor, Latifi, Vettel, they've taken a grid penalty, and Alexander. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as once again we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little...
So just like real life then, we've got the Ferraris and the Red Bulls fighting at the front. Also really good performance there from Alpine, putting the cars up there, looks like 7th and 9th, and Vasseur getting ahead of one of the Williams and Vettel behind him as well, but with a penalty. So Vettel, I suspect, might be beyond us with the pace of the Aston Martin, but maybe we can get Latifi. We'll see how the race goes. We're going to have to follow everyone else's strategy, going from the mediums to the hards. Obviously, with the new regulations, everyone can start on it at the tire they like. So we'll be going mediums to hards and just seeing how our pace fares in this race. But here we go then. Going to 5 red lights. And away we go. So a good start there for the Ferrari. It looked like Hamilton get a decent start. But we're following up by, we had a bad start at the beginning there, just missing the lights. They just went out immediately and caught us completely off guard. But as you see, we're going to try and sneak up the inside of Vettel here, but we've got simulation damage, so we are going to take it easy. I don't want to get any damage on the car right off the bat on this. We want to get round and make the most of any opportunities that come our way through safety cars, DNFs. We know the car's not got the pace. We're going to track Vasseur here. Vasseur already making moves, so he's up to 18th. Already moved ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, so Daniel Ricciardo's fallen back into the pack. So I've missed what happened there, but Vasseur making good moves already, and now we've got Vettel making an absolute biblical dive there down the inside of Latifi and Ricciardo. So big move there from Vettel, showing that the AI is going to be really, really punchy on this game. Now getting up to the back of Latifi. We're just following around at the moment around the back of Ricciardo. So unless Ricciardo's got damage when he's lost those positions, I suspect that, again, it might be a struggle to make the moves where we don't have the speed on the straights. We move here to lap 2. And we're with Lando Norris at the moment, as we can see the midfield pack fighting. He's trying to go up the inside of Magnussen there. He's got the move done. Magnussen struggling and now losing a position out to Guan Yu Zhou as well. Guan Yu Zhou and Magnussen side by side there through that corner, fighting away. Back end stepping out there for Magnussen as well as Guan Yu Zhou goes down the inside. Can he make that move stick against Magnussen? Magnussen might have the bit of traction on the exit. He goes back to the inside into the left-hander. Can he get the move done? He's pushed Zhou out wide. Zhou getting stuck out there on that corner, and now we're 3 wide with Magnussen, Guan Yu Zhou and Gasly drag racing into the left-hander at the end of this straight. Who's to come out on top at this particular moment? Again, 3 wide. Look at this. A little bit of a tap, it looked like there on the back wheel of Gasly, so the right hand side by Magnussen, and we've still got Guan Yu Zhou up the inside of Magnussen. Gasly has managed to take a step forward ahead of these two, but Guan Yu Zhou now going down the inside of Magnussen. Some great fight in the midfield here, but Guan Yu Zhou loses out, and now Albon on the back of Guan Yu Zhou looking to make moves as the midfield battle looks incredibly close. Look at all these cars all together. This certainly bodes well, but Vasseur now going for a dive down the inside of Alex Albon, looking to make moves on Stroll as well. Vasseur definitely showing what this car can do when you run a lower downforce setup. But we've got now Stroll looking to make a move back on Vasseur. 3 wide again here. How will this fare for Vasseur? Hopefully he can get around here without damage, but it looks like they've tapped. Hopefully no damage there to Vasseur. Stroll making the move around the outside, but Vasseur making a really, really good impression on our team in this first race. Really excited about what he might be able to do this season with just this showing already. Loving how punchy he's being with the other more experienced drivers, so this is absolutely brilliant. He's now the head of Lance Stroll and up to 16th in our My Team car, which is a brilliant start for Vasseur. So let's hope he can keep this performance up and keep backing the pack up into ourselves, as we're still struggling with our straight line speed down the back. But we can see Stroll there has gone straight into the back of Vasseur, and Vasseur's now lost places, but it looked like Stroll's got some damage to his front wing, so I suspect Stroll's going to have to be coming in for his first pit stop now. As we see Albon making moves on Vasseur, going down the inside at the top of the hill. Hopefully Vasseur's got the traction on the exit to stay ahead of Albon, and he does. And we now move to lap 4 as we see Vasseur coming back at Stroll. We know Stroll's got damage, but can Vasseur make the move around the outside? Maybe get some good momentum, as we feel like Stroll's probably going to peel away into the pits. He does, but did Vasseur get the DRS? He had. Hopefully the DRS can keep him away from Albon, but Albon now coming right up behind Vasseur. Will Albon go for the move? He will. It looks like Albon's got that move done on Vasseur in the DRS with the added effect of the slipstream. Hopefully Vasseur though can stay ahead of Vettel. We'll see how that goes. up the hill, but good move there by Albon into the first corner, getting that move done on Vasseur. We've got the DRS here with Vasseur. Can he get the position back with Albon? It doesn't look like it. It looks like they will be staying in position. So we move to lap 7. We see Mick Schumacher here in 11th, chasing down Yuki Tsunoda. Good drive here from Mick. We see Magnussen down in 14th. So Mick now going on move on the inside of Yuki. Can he get that move stick into the first corner? Will he get the traction on the exit, go around the outside? But again, wheel-to-wheel racing here as we see Tsunoda just about missing out there. But can he make a move? We've now got Lando Norris looking to make a move on Tsunoda behind Mick as he got slowed down on the exit there from turn 2. And now Norris on the inside of Tsunoda. Can he get that move done as we head into the right-hander? Or Tsunoda keep the position from the outside and to the inside of the left-hander there. It looks like Tsunoda's kept that position as Norris follows him through that right-hander at the bottom of the hill as we go around. Lap 9 here, we've got Carlos Sainz making moves, looking to make a move on Valtteri Bottas, then potentially double overtake with Alonso as well. Can he get the job done around the outside of turn 2? He can. Alonso now up to 6th. We saw at the beginning that he'd had a penalty, so he had to start further down the grid, but he's making moves now, although he has lost a lot of time to Russell in front. As we see Bottas may move now down the inside of Ocon. Can he get that move done? Oh, in the background, what's that? Alonso off to the side. He's had to be our first retirement of season 1, so Alonso now the first retirement, the first DNF of the season, but it didn't bring out a safety car. They considered that safe. There are only the yellow flags on this occasion. As we see Norris spin out and the AI making mistakes around turn 1. I certainly know what it feels like to make mistakes on that corner with the back end losing traction, but good to see the AI making those sorts of errors as well. So Norris losing out to Guan Yu Zhou and Magnussen as they move ahead of the Brit. And now we've got Hamilton trying to make moves on Perez. We saw Hamilton had qualified in P4, but now making moves around the outside of Perez. So it looks like the performance of the Red Bull and the Mercedes very similar in this game. You can see Russell right up behind Perez there. So it'll be interesting to see if Russell can make moves as well. But this is for podium position, so really, really important racing here. Let's see if Hamilton, being the 7-time world champion, can get the better of Perez. He's gone. He looks like he's got done, but Perez will have the inside here. So will Perez get the position? This is some brilliant wheel-to-wheel racing we've seen today from the AI. Some fantastic performances. So really, really solid. But what happened here? Oh, Perez has gone off. He's been pushed off by Hamilton. Again, it seems like it's a really dangerous place to try and overtake there. And Perez has come to a stop. It hasn't said he's DNF though. So what is this? Is he just having to wait for these cars to come through before he can get going? Really strange shift now. You can see that he's actually ghosted now, but still not DNF'd. He's letting all these people through. I don't know if he's got damage, but no, look, he's off. So Perez is going to continue in this race, but he's actually been sat there so long that a safety car has been brought out, and we see here everyone's coming in under the safety car. We're going to have to double stack as Vasseur comes in for his pit stop, and we're going to hope that he's come in and gone out by the time we reach our pit box. But you can see it's manic in the pit lane here. Hopefully Vasseur has a good stop. Looks decent, quite slow there on the rear left though. It does hold him up as we come in, nearly hitting the Williams in the pit lane there. The bit of an unsafe release, I think, but either way we've made our stop, so hopefully we'll get a good getaway onto the hard tyres. Away we go. And here we are then, lap 14. The safety car is coming in. We're ahead of Stroll as he made that earlier pit stop for damage, and we're going to try and make a move on the TV. But as we found in this race, we just do not have the straight line speed with the setup we've gone for to make the moves down these straights. Even with the ERS, we don't have the ERS capability, unfortunately, because we haven't been able to develop the car. But look at that, Stroll's gone for the dive down the inside, and it looks like there's more damage. Was that damage for Stroll, or was that damage coming off Latifi due to the impact from Stroll there? I'm not too sure. As we see Gasly going for a move on Perez. Gasly now, maybe can he get any move on Perez? Perez obviously in the quicker Red Bull, tapping wheels there with Perez, and I certainly think that the parent Red Bulls are not going to be happy with that. Christian Horner will not be likely to see Gasly, but as I go for a dive here down in front of Vasseur and Ricciardo, I don't quite get it done, but we're getting punchy now. We want to make some positions. We're up now we've got a Latifi around the outside. Hopefully we can stay in front of Latifi. We definitely want to get in front of him. But we are losing now, just we've lost time there fighting with Latifi on that left-hander, so we do fall a bit back from Ricciardo in front, and we can see now Latifi really pushing to get past us there, but he's lost some time as he tapped us on the back. But he will have DRS down the main straight, so will he be able to make a dive into the first corner? As we stripped Vasseur here, Vasseur's just driven straight into the back of Vettel. What is Vasseur doing? He's surely going to have damage there after hitting into the back of Vettel into the first corner. So we'll see in a minute, but maybe he'll have to come in for a pit stop, which would really ruin Vasseur's race. So I hope that isn't the case, as we see Ricciardo making a move on Vasseur towards the end of that lap on lap 16, and us just waiting there behind Vasseur. So we'll see what happens here. So Ricciardo's made that move and he's away, and he'll have DRS, but we were right. Vasseur has come in with damage to the car, so he's just had an absolute mare of a moment, gone straight into the back of one of the Aston Martins, and he's now had to come in for pit stop. That's going to absolutely ruin his race. As we see Latifi go down the inside of us, we've had to move out of the way, but Stroll's just straight into the back of us there. Absolute carnage from Stroll. He's definitely proven already to be a bit of a liability this season in that Aston Martin. He's taken his front wing off, but he's still, with the DRS open, going to look to make a move with us up to the top of the hill, but we should be able to cover that off given the lack of downforce we'll have without that front wing. But what is Stroll doing? He's actually damaged our rear wing as well there, so we're now going to have lost on the rear end, as we see Gasly spinning out with the AI spinning out again in this game as they lose the downforce on the rear end. And a bunch of people make moves there on Gasly as he loses out to Ricciardo, Albon and Norris. Back to us here as we chase down Latifi. We're now up to 16th as we've capitalised on the DNFs and the damage and the pit stops that we've had going on around us. So now up to 16th, which for our first race is not too bad at all as we follow Latifi through here. But I'm very conscious we've got damage to our rear end that's going to make it really difficult for us for the rest of this race, with damage to the diffuser and the rear wing. So it's definitely something to look out for. But here we are then on lap 18 as we see Perez trying to make up positions. He obviously lost a lot of time again, tapping Yuki Tsunoda there on the side, and that's pushed him back into the clutch with Guan Yu Zhou as Perez comes in again. Perez having to make another stop due to damage. I don't know if that's happened just then or earlier on in the lap, but certainly not good news for Perez. I think this will actually bring Perez out behind us, but he's going on the soft tyres there, so he's going to be really quick behind, putting a new nose on there, so I think that maybe was damaged with the collision with Gasly. So he's going to be really quick behind, as we see Guan Yu Zhou now making a move on Tsunoda. Lap 19 down the inside here. Guan Yu Zhou going for another move. He has definitely been a star of the show with the overtaking, the fighting he's had today. No damage to his car so far today either, but he's gone off now. He's gone off and really slow back onto the track as he loses the position to Norris. That corner proving to be a real issue for the AI when they're side by side. Really punchy, and it just seems like they're quite happy to just push out the other drivers onto the rough there. But it is a really difficult turn to go side by side and wheel-to-wheel racing through, so fair play, but it's really good entertainment for the race. As we now go to Valtteri Bottas, who's got Mick Schumacher up behind him, the battle for 6th here. Mick Schumacher going down the inside. Can he get up to 6th? Would be a fantastic result for Mick and the Haas team. We obviously saw that Haas did really well in Bahrain in real life this season, and they are doing really well again in the game, matching real life performance, at least in this first race, which is really good to see. And Mick seeing out that overtake on Bottas, so really good move from Mick there, and really good to see him doing so well with Magnussen all the way down to 20th today. But we see Bottas here. Bottas now going back for 6th place on Mick. He's gone down the inside of the left-hander, but Mick will again now move to the inside of the right-hander up the hill. Can he get moved back on Bottas and back up to 6th as we head down towards the final corners of the lap? Can Mick outdrag Bottas down here? But whoever gets there first obviously won't have the DRS down the straight, so it could be of a benefit to Mick to wait and get the DRS open, as it looks like Bottas has gone round the outside of Mick, but I'm sure Mick is there. Who's going to have the DRS? It's actually Bottas with the DRS, but it seems like the slipstream is still powerful enough for Mick to make the move back on Bottas. So can he get the move done again on the inside? Lap 2 here, so only 7 laps to go. Really important position here to get 6th place and some big points for Alpha or Haas, depending on who gets them. But to see Mick and Valtteri Bottas fighting this hard so early on in the season certainly bodes well for the rest of the year, as Mick looks to see out that move, cut across Bottas to make that move stick, and he's done that. As we come back to ourselves here, and we've got Nicholas Latifi, sorry, it's Perez up behind us. He's caught us now on the softs, as we thought he'd be really quick, but we've gone for a switchback there, cutting back on the inside of Perez, and actually got that move back. I was going to let him through, but he just gave us such an opportunity to get the move back that we've taken it there. He's obviously so much quicker. He's on the softs, we're on the hards, already struggling due to the lack of downforce on the rear with the damage we received earlier, so we're just trying to do the best that we can and see out this 15th. But Perez has gone right, and Perez has lost the back end on that corner. He's gone for an audacious move around the outside there, and he just couldn't make it stick. So Perez has actually had to come in for another pit stop. He's damaged his car again. I didn't feel anything when I was racing him there. I didn't feel anything at all, but it seems like he must have tapped us, or maybe on the curbs with the simulation damage, he's managed to damage the rear wing, and he's come in for another stop. But as we Tsunoda spinning out of the top of the hill, another AI driver losing the back end, and now having to wait for everyone to go past so he can rejoin the track. So losing out to Gasly, Ricciardo and Albon there, Tsunoda, after he was having a positive race. And we cut back now to Mick Schumacher on lap 28, still up in 6th place, having a fantastic race here at the Bahrain Grand Prix, the first race of the season. Really big result for Mick, and Valtteri Bottas as well in 7th. Norris has made his way up to 8th so far, Guan Yu Zhou in 9th. We see Leclerc on lap 29 now, end of the race, coming across the line to win the inaugural Grand Prix of the My Team season. Verstappen home in 2nd, Sainz third. Big result for Ferrari, coming home 1st and 3rd, 2 on the podium. George Russell coming home 4th, ahead of Hamilton, so we've missed an overtake there somewhere. Russell ahead of Hamilton. Mick Schumacher is going to come across the line for 6th, Bottas for 7th. Norris is going to come across the line for 8th. Zhou, after all his fantastic wheel-to-wheel racing today, will get 9th. And Albon in the Williams coming home in 10th, which is really disappointing for us because we want to fight Williams this season. And that point could be huge over the next few races as we bring home in 15th. Happy with that. For sure our teammate's going to end the race in 17th. But for our first race, coming home in 15th, making the most opportunities we had, especially considering the damage we received during that race. I'm not unhappy with that at all. Obviously, we didn't have too much wheel-to-wheel action ourselves, given the issues we were having on the straights. But a really, really good race.
What do you think it was today, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on track was: speed. I know it sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today, and a stunning win for Ferrari. Take him to the top.
So there we have it then. Charles Leclerc coming home in 1st. We've come home 15th. A really, really good race. The wheel-to-wheel action in that race was absolutely fantastic. I'm excited to get into the second race of the season as we progress through this year, and I'll definitely have more content for you soon. I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. It was a really, really fun race. Obviously a lot to learn with these cars, and definitely going to improve in the car with the settings as we progress through the season and get more used to how these cars perform versus previous years. But if you did like that, guys, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Really helps me out and helps the channel grow, and make sure to like the video if you did enjoy that racing. I think it was absolutely fantastic. The AI racing there was absolutely brilliant. Really loved watching that, and looking forward to more wheel-to-wheel racing as we progress through the season. But otherwise, guys, I'm going to thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought and what you're looking forward to in this career mode, what you'd like to see. I hope you have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.